For evidence of the use of bots against Captain Marvel and Brie Larson, let's see, for example, here at Cine Premiere how an article was recently published about Brie Larson not being happy with the Marvels either and that she was supposedly causing drama behind the scenes. Look at the performance of this post. It has more than 4,000 reactions, it has almost 500 comments, it has been shared 35 times. By the way, the number of reactions, I have a fan page. I know that this number of reactions with this number of shares is strange to begin with, and well, ironically it really makes all the sense in the world because look, when we have a publication too from Cine Premiere who is positive towards Captain Marvel and Brie Larson, look, he has almost no reactions in comparison, so he almost has very few comments. So what happens? Well, it happens that Facebook is going to promote this post that is having a lot of reactions, comments, shares, and is going to recommend it and inflate it. They use bots to inflate negative posts to Captain Marvel and Brie Larson when a post is positive to Brie Larson and Brie Larson. Captain Marvel then don't use your bots, therefore the post is not promoted, and that makes a lot of sense. I repeat, when we see the number of shares, it really hasn't been shared that many times, even though the algorithm is promoting this post 35 is not so many for the number of reactions it has. Why not? Well, because most of these reactions are from bot accounts. Comes out, now you can tell me, well, but imagine, that is, this shows that people organically don't like Captain Marvel or Brie Larson, doesn't care. Well, the reality is that most of Cine Premiere's publications have a much lower performance. For example, this one by J.K. Rowling 67. Nectus cancels. Romantic comedy 23. The death of Lope stars up 41. Here we have James Gunn who is going to direct Superman 80, right? So, come on, suddenly there are some who jump a little. Guillermo del Toro will make a Frankenstein 952 movie. That one has grown up, but what do you compare this with what we see here? You have to understand that these bots have nothing to do with Cine Premiere. They are from third parties. There are people who are constantly monitoring the internet looking for content, in quotes, progress, woke, because they go against their values, and then when they see that kind of content they send to your bots to make negative posts and inflate them with negative reactions. Captain Marvel was your testing laboratory for this. Have you realized that all of Marvel is currently the target of your attacks? Because they believe that all of Marvel, all of Disney is progressive, it's woke, and they want to cancel it, so they created a very perverse incentive. Because if you manage these accounts, okay, you're a community manager and you see that negative posts to Brie Larson get these returns so tall, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to publish more. You're going to please what people, in quotes, are asking for. Only that they're not people, they're bots. But you don't care, because by having those returns you're going to make your boss happy and he's going to say, wow, you really do, you are a genius community manager. It is not true, and this vicious circle was created where those bot accounts encouraged negative content towards Brie Larson, and therefore the community managers created malicious content towards Brie Larson that was perverse, completely perverse, and of course many people fell into this psychosis that Brie Larson and Captain Marvel were hated, of course, and I was absolutely bombarded with this content, but it is pure manipulation. That is, this is artificial, and the same thing always happens when the publication is negative to Captain Marvel. Marvel does not want another disaster of Ant-Man proportions in the Wasp. Quantumania. The Marvels has been delayed by terrible test projections. Also very high the number of reactions. Very high whenever it is negative. Very high it is official. The Marvels delays the launch for a few months. This is neutral, neither positive nor negative. Neutral. Look at the number of reactions. This is not organic. It is evident that it is not organic. It is evident that it is this manipulated here. The Marvels. The crossover from Captain Marvel to Monica Rambeau, Mike Marvel up to the Barascenes. This is positive. It is also neutral, 50 reactions. So it is very evident what is happening here. It is very evident what that we have been saying for years. We did not have proofs, in quotes, but we also certainly do not have indirect proofs of how they are used, the bots, to inflate all the negative content. That's just one example, is one thing we got to see. So negative posts to Brie Larson became solid gold for creators, and you wanted your post to get reactions, get engagement, get reach. Do a negative post by Brie Larson is well documented on YouTube, but since I read that it also happens on Facebook, I don't have similar evidence on Instagram or Twitter. Instagram is not as toxic as Facebook, I think. I'm not sure. I use it much less. Twitter were also used several disastrous accounts against Brie Larson. But let it be clear to them, it is not organic. They are trying to manipulate them. These people know. They know what they are doing. They know that reality is perception. And they know that if they manage to create a perception of something, even if it is not true, well, that's it. That is what interests them. If they manage through repetition to convince you that red is blue, they will do it, and it is in this way that they have turned a lovely, kind, positive person like Brie Larson into a positive, great, inspiring character like Captain Marvel. They have. That is the impression they want to give. Internet outcasts for them. Brie Larson is not even a being human. It's one thing, so there's indirect evidence. I read it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Joe Cool for Brie Larson Worldwide. Keep loving Brie.